2025 is a very special year for India for IAS. Every Vijayadashmi ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಮೊದಲ ಪೂಜೆ ಆಗಿದ್ದು, and 8th of November is when the first class started on the portals of India for IAS.
ಜೊತೆಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದವಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಾಳಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜೋರ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಗಾಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗೋ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾಳೆ ನನಗೇನಾದ್ರು ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ UPSC ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ತಗೋ, ಐ ಲವ್ ಸಾರಿ ಸರ್, ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಏನಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ.
I had failed first 4 prelims. 3 prelims I failed. You'll get what do you call that, chombu. I started with maths thinking that ನಂಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ವೀಕ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಓದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಯುರಸಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಟ್ ಡಿ RC ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ. ನಾನು ಅದು RC ಕಡೆ ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಟೈಮ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟುಪಿಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್. ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಡೂ RC. ದೇ ವರ್ ಸೇಫ್. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪೇಪರ್ ಟಫ್ ಅಲ್ವೋ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ನೆವರ್ ಲುಕ್ಡ್ ಎಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್. ಮೈ ಹಾರ್ಟಿ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಟು ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to all of you. It's a very honorable occasion, and we are very humbled and graced to have amongst us an achiever in her own respect, Dr. Vinutha G R. Thank you so much, ma'am, for gracing the occasion. It is Navratri, and the celebrations of Navratri have begun much in prior, as we have a personality whom is worth celebrating. 10 years of service with the Indian Air Force as aeronautical engineer with the Sainik Welfare Board, multiple such postings which could have given her immense amount of effort and all that, and still retains a lot of motivation, comes back, writes UPSC exam and clears with a rank, about to join Indian Revenue Service. This is in brief a story of somebody who always dreamt of an achievement and made everything possible. Namma Mysurina hudugi Vinutha G R. So without much delay, I would now request Srinivas sir to give a very brief introduction and also welcome Vinutha officially.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮುಂಚಿತವಾಗಿ ವಿಜಯದಶಮಿಯ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. ಎಲ್ಲೆಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಬ್ಬದ ವಾತಾವರಣ, ನಾಡಹಬ್ಬ ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ನಡುವೆ ವಿನುತಾ ಜಿ ಆರ್ ಅವರು, ಸರ್ ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಗೂ ಬರಬೇಕು, ನನ್ನ ಅನುಭವವನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಖುಷಿಯಾಯಿತು. ತಕ್ಷಣ ಕೇದಾರ್ ಸರ್ಗೆ ವಿನುತಾ ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಭಾಳ ಖುಷಿಯಾದರು ಸಾಹೇಬರು. ವಿನುತಾಗೂ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಸಾಹೇಬರು ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿಯಾಯಿತು. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇವತ್ತು ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಜರ್ನಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಅವರಿಂದ ಕೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಉತ್ಸುಕನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅತಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಇವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಸರ್ ಜೊತೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಪೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಸರ್. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಬೇಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ DC ಆಗಬೇಕು ಮೈಸೂರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕನಸು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸಂತೋಷ, ಬರಬೇಕು. ಆದರೆ ಪ್ರಾಯೋಗಿಕವಾಗಿ ಇದುವರೆಗೆ ಒಂದು 4-5 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯನ್ನು ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದರೆ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ಜರ್ನಿ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ವಸ್ತುಸ್ಥಿತಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ವಿನುತಾ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಇದನ್ನು ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಅವರ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸ, ತದನಂತರ ಅವರು ಸ್ಕ್ವಾಡ್ರನ್ ಲೀಡ್ರಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನು ಸೋಲುಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ನಡುವೆ ಅವರು ಸಾಧಕಿಯಾಗಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಜರ್ನಿಯ ಕೆಲವು ನಗ್ನತೆಗಳಿದೆ, ಅದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಈ ಥರದ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಅಚೀವರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಅನುಭವ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅನುಭವ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಸದುದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಈ ಥರದೊಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿನಿತ್ಯ, ಪ್ರತಿ ಕ್ಷಣಗಳು, ಪ್ರತಿ ಘಟನೆಗಳು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಂದಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಲಿಯುವಂಥದ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಕೇವಲ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಜರ್ನಿ ಭಾಳ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅನುಭವಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನೂ ಅಂದವಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಸಾಧನೆ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಅವರು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಬಂದು ಕುಳಿತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರ ಒಟ್ಟು ಬದುಕು ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಮಹಾಕಾವ್ಯ ಥರ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ರ ಹಿಂದೆಗಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಂಘರ್ಷ ಇದೆ, ಸೋಲುಗಳಿದೆ, ನಿದ್ದೆ ಇಲ್ಲದ ರಾತ್ರಿಗಳಿವೆ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. UPSC ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಕೇದಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಕಳಿಸಿದರು ನನಗೆ, ಒಂದು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಲೋಕಸೇವಾ ಆಯೋಗಕ್ಕೆ 100 ವರ್ಷಗಳು ತುಂಬಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಬಹುತೇಕ ಕೇದಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಏನು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಜರ್ನಿಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅವಧಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪರಿಗಣನೆಗೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಧ ಶತಮಾನ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ UPSC ಜೊತೆ ಒಡನಾಟ ಇದೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಸ್ಪಿರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವರ ಒಟ್ಟು ಬದುಕನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ 50 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಒಡನಾಟ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಲೋಕಸೇವಾ ಆಯೋಗ ಈ ವರ್ಷ 100 ವರ್ಷ ಶತಮಾನದ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ದಕ್ಷ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಈ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣದ ಕಾರ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದೇ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಅಭಿಮಾನ, ಸಂತೋಷದ ವಿಚಾರ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ವಿನುತಾ ಅವರ ಜರ್ನಿ ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೌತುಕವಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅವರನ್ನು ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇ ನುಡಿಗಳಿಂದ ಕೇಳೋಣ. ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ, ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಭಾಗದ ಮಕ್ಕಳಾಗ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕನಸನ್ನು ಹೊತ್ತು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಿಲ್ಲಬೇಕು ಈ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ CS ಕೇದಾರ್ ಅವರು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಕಂಡಂತಹ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ದಕ್ಷ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಯವರು. ಇವತ್ತು ಕೂಡ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬಡವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಧ್ವನಿ ಇಲ್ಲದವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರ ಹೃದಯ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಮಿಡಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಯಿಂದ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಹಬ್ಬ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಡಬಗ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳೆಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ, ನಾವೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕನಸನ್ನು ಹೊತ್ತು ಇವತ್ತು ಚಂದ್ರ ಲೇಔಟಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಅದರ ಅವರ ಕನಸಿನ ಫಲ ಇದು. ಸೊ ಆ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಬ್ಬರು ಮಾನೀಯರನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS ಒಟ್ಟು ತಂಡದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ 2 ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಸರ್. So just walking down the memory lane a little, 2025 is a very special year for India for IAS, and very coincidentally exactly 5 years back on 30th September 2020 the registration for the company Reimagining India Edu Innovations Private Limited was granted by Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So today marks the 5th year that we have registered as a company. We have 3 dates that we celebrate. So every Vijayadashmi ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಮೊದಲ ಪೂಜೆ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ವಿಜಯದಶಮಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರತಿ ವಿಜಯದಶಮಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆನಿವರ್ಸರಿ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್. And 8th of November is when the first class started on the portals of India for IAS. So in that sense, in a very dark COVID time, we dreamt a dream. ಒಂದು ಕನಸು ಚಿಗುರೊಡೆದಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಕನಸಿನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಭಯ ಇತ್ತು, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಹಂಬಲ ಇತ್ತು, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸಾಧಿಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಛಲ ಇತ್ತು. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ somebody who stood strong with us, somebody who believed in us and worked along with us, like all of us in that age that he is, we always feel he's young, somebody who needs no introduction, Dr. C.S. Kedar. So at the eve of 5 years that we are, thanking you so much from the deepest of our hearts, sir, and very few words from you, sir.
ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನೀವೇ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲಾಪ್ ದಮ್. ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಹಬ್ಬ, ನವರಾತ್ರಿ ಇಷ್ಟರ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಬದಿಗಿರಿಸಿ ಓದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರ. ಸೊ that is something you should be proud of. So please feel proud of yourself that all of you have sacrificed something to be here. In fact, Srinivas ಒಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, preparation for civil services is not a 100 meters dash. ಅವನು ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಫೆಲೋ, ಉಸೇನ್ ಬೋಲ್ಟ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾರಥಾನ್. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ನನ್ನ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ನನ್ನ ಯಾರನ್ನಾರು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟನೇ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಭಾಳ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಹೊಡಿತಾರೆ, ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ. ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನನಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಬಂತು, ಮೈ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ 50 years ago, 1975. ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯಿತು 50 ವರ್ಷದ ದಂಟು ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಸಡನ್ಲಿ ಐ ಥಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ 79 ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ IAS, ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ಮೈ 50 years. 1975 first time I learned that there is something called civil services, there is something called IAS, and that anybody can train. ಕನ್ನಡದ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ, ಕನ್ನಡ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಸಹಿತ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾವನೆಗಳು, ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದವರು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ದೂರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಲು ದೂರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಗಳಿರ್ತದೆ. ಭಾಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮನುಷ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. 75ರಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಅನುಭವ ಆಯಿತು. ಹೌದಾ? ಓ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಹಬ್ಬ, ಅವತ್ತು ಇವ್ರು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಇವ್ರು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನನಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಆಯಿತು. IAS ಅನ್ನೋದಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವಿಬ್ಬರು ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ನೀವು ನಂಬೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ 75ರಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಬಂದು, ಆಗ ನಾನು ಓದಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಹೊಡೆದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದು 78ರಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇವರು. ನೋ, ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಹುಸೇನ್ ಬೋಲ್ಟ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಾಳಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಆದರೂ ಅಷ್ಟು ಗಾಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗೋಷ್ಟು ತಿನ್ನಾಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಒಂಚೂರು ಸಣ್ಣ ಇದ್ದೆ ಆವಾಗ. ನೋ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಹುಸೇನಿ ಬೋಲ್ಟ್, ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾರಥಾನ್. 75ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮೀ, ಹೂ ಗೈಡೆಡ್ ಮೀ, 3 ವರ್ಷ ಓದ್ಮೇಲೆ ತಗೋ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಂದರು. ಸೊ 75ಇಂದ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್, ನೀವು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗಿಂದ 3 ವರ್ಷ ಯಾವುದೇ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಪೂಜೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯವ್ರು ನನಗೆ ಏನಕ್ಕೂ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 3 ವರ್ಷ ನಾನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪಾಗಿ ಓದಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ ಇರೋದು. ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋವರ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸು, ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ 79 April 7th was my interview. Then 79 I got selected. So my association with UPSC started in 1975. ಆ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬಿಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಆವಾಗ ನಾನೊಬ್ಬನೇ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗ ಇದ್ದೆ ನನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಚಲ್ಲಿ. ಐ ಡಿಸೈಡೆಡ್ ದಟ್ ಸೊ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅಲೈವ್, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರಿಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟಿಂದ ನಾವು ಹೋದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೇಟಿಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದಾയത് ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್. ಐ ನೋ ಹೌ ಈಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್ ಬಿಗ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ನೋಯಿಂಗ್. ನೀವು ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್. It's not that I wanted to be proud, but I know that in civil services of any kind, I'm not talking only IAS, any service you can contribute to your state. That was my thing. So that's why my association with UPSC never ended. In fact, my first student, suddenly 6 months back, I met Ashok Dalwai. So I said, ನಾನು 83 ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸಾರಿ ಸರ್, ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಏನಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ. ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ದರ್ಶನಲ್ಲಿ 1980 79 ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಂದರೆ 1980 ಈಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ದರ್ಶನ್ ಇಯರ್. ಆವಾಗ ಧಾರವಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ರಿ, ನಾನೊಬ್ಬನೇ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗ, ಉಳಿದವರೆಲ್ಲ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಗಾನ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸಿಟಿ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಲೈಫ್. ಒಂಥರ ಮೊದಲಿಂದ ಒಂಥರ ಹಾಫ್ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಹಾಫ್ ಮನುಷ್ಯ. ಸೊ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈ ರೂಮ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಸೀಮ್ಸ್ ಅಶೋಕ್ ದಲ್ವಾಯ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೀ ಸೆಡ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮೀ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock till my batchmates came from. He said 3 hours you told me. So I am your first candidate. So 1980 ತನಕ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಹಬ್ಬ ಹುಣ್ಣಿಮೆ ಹರಿದಿ ನಥಿಂಗ್, ಐ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈ ಲೈಫ್. ಸೊ ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಟು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಊಟ ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಊಟ ಅಂದರೆ ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಮದುವೆ ಮನೆ ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು. ಅವ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋದ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಊಟ ತಿನ್ನೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮದುವೆನೇ. ಹೋಟ್ಲು ಗಿಟ್ಲು ಆ ಥರ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕತೆ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ದೆನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಐ ವಿಲ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಚಲ್ಲಿ IAS ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನೊಬ್ಬ, IRS ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಜನ, ವಿಜಯ್ ಕುಮಾರ್, ವಾಸುದೇವ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ ಮೂರ್ತಿ. ಒಂದು ಹುಡುಗಿ ನಂದಿನಿ ಅಂತ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಆಡಿಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸು. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗ ನಾಗಾನಂದ. ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಭಾಳ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ ಮೂರ್ತಿ. ಅಗೇನ್ ಟುಡೇ ಇಟ್ ಸಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್. ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಈಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗ. ಮೇ ಬಿ ಟುಡೇ ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಗೂಗಲ್, ಅವ್ರು ಏನಾರು ಇರ್ತಾನೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. IRS ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೋ ಏನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಿಸ್ ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು, you have to forego a lot if you want to achieve your dreams in any field. Venkatesh Murthy became clerk in Customs and Excise Department. Venkatesh Murthy became a clerk. ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಈಗಲೂ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಈ ಕ್ಲರಿಕಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ತೊಗೋತಾರೆ. ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಅದು? ಸೊ SSC ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ತೊಗೋತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಹಿ ಬಿಕೇಮ್ ಎ ಕ್ಲಾರ್ಕ್. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 2 years ಹಿ ಅಪಿಯರ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಕಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸೈಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್. ಹಿ ಬಿಕೇಮ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸೈಸ್. ರೈಟ್? So, 2nd division clerk, then he became revenue inspector in the same department. Then ಅವರ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗದವರು, ಹಳ್ಳಿಯವರು. ಸೊ ಮದುವೆನೂ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರು. ಆಯ್ತಾಯಿತು ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾಡಿಗೆ ನಿಂದು ಆಗೋಯ್ತು, ನೀನು ಮದುವೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಮದುವೆನೂ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಿತಿನ್ 1 year he had a child also. He appeared for civil services exam again after 2.5 years. Marriage with one child, giving all the troubles that he can give. Got through, he became Assistant Commissioner of Customs and Central Excise. All the 3 levels, clerk, revenue inspector, in a span of 7.5 years. He continued, nothing stopped him. So that is preparation for civil services. In fact, I am tempted to give one more example. I don't know, I thought Venkatesh Murthy. I don't know whether you know it or not. Shiv Kumar anta idru. It's 1978 batch IAS from Karnataka. Shiv Kumar anta. He first joined as ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೊಯಂಬತ್ತೂರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ACF ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ನೋ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಟರ್ಸ್, ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್, RFOs. RFOs recruitment. So he became probationer 2 years. During that probationship, he prepared for civil services exam. He got into IPS. He became IPS. Continued 2 years probationship, and then he continued his studies. He got through the IAS after 2 years completing that probation, and he became IAS Karnataka. And 2 years again he enjoyed probationship. There was an option. I used to call it, you are the real son-in-law of government of Karnataka. 6 varsha he was a continuous probationer. 6 varsha. All those probation period he used to study only. Of course, IAS admele it was a different study where he had to prepare for the probation. So what I want all of you to understand, because he told me that some of you are thinking that it's Usain Bolt. No, it's a marathon. So you have to do marathon. ಇವಾಗ ನಾಳೆ ನನಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ UPSC ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ತಗೋ, I would love. Again, I would like to write the civil service, I would like to, but I will not take till 2028. Because 2025, I would like to sit. I know that even today I am reading. Even today, ನನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಗಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ 3-4 ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ಕೀಪ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್. ಆನೆಸ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡಿಯಸ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್. ಈವನ್ ನೌ ಐ ರೀಡ್ ಎ ಲಾಟ್. So even then I would like to take only 2028 exam. So my request to you is, please don't look at yourself in the short term. Anything big you have to achieve, you have to have a consistency. Devaru ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ಮಾಡಲಿ. I wish you all the best. Happy Dasra. Don't enjoy, work hard. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So, with those inspiring words, let me take the pleasure of giving you a very brief introduction of our guest for the day. ರವೀಂದ್ರನಾಥ್ ಮತ್ತು ರೇಣುಕಮ್ಮ ಅವರ ಮಗಳು ಮಂಡ್ಯದ ಅಭಿನವ ಭಾರತಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾಕೇಂದ್ರ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲಾ ದಿನಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸಿ ನಂತರ ಸದ್ವಿದ್ಯಾ PU ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಮೈಸೂರು PCMB ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್, JC ಮೈಸೂರು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್, IIT Delhi electrical machines, MTech, all in thorough distinction. Okay, so there's not been a single gap of distinction from 10th standard to her MTech days. And then joined as aeronautical engineering officer with the Indian Air Force for 10 continuous years, served in multiple places. Deputy Director of Sainik Welfare Board from 21 to 23, and now IRS officer preparing to join the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. So that speaks volumes of the motivation, the idea, the belief, and ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಕನಸನ್ನು ದೇಶ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ಅಂತ ಮುಡುಪಾಗಿಟ್ಟಾಗ ಭಾರತೀಯ ವಾಯುಪಡೆಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಪಡೆಯಾಗಿ ನಂತರ 10 ವರ್ಷ ಭಾರತ ವಾಯುಪಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀ, I wish she disagrees with me. I've heard from people who have tried as women to join forces. It's very difficult for women to get into forces as such and then to serve. So 10 ವರ್ಷಗಳು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಭಾರತೀಯ ವಾಯುಪಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ದೇಶ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ನಂತರ UPSC ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಮಹಾಭಿಯಾನಕ್ಕೆ ತನ್ನದು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಕೈ ಹಾಕಿ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಯಶಸ್ಸು ಕಂಡಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ಛಲಗಾರ್ತಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ವಿನುತಾ ಜಿ ಆರ್. The idea where we celebrate ನವಶಕ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನ ನವರಾತ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ we have a wonderful woman, a wonder woman who is definitely a true inspiration. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's an honest, humble experience that I wish you share your experiences throughout, and we have a wonderful idea. The stage is yours.
Good morning, everyone. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಬೈ ನೌ. ಓಕೆ, ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಂಫರ್ಟಬಲ್? ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಕಂಫರ್ಟಬಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರೈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಿಥೌಟ್ ಹೆಸಿಟೇಷನ್. ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಾಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಯು? ಓಕೆ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್, ಕರ್ಟಸಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಏರ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಸರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. I'll give a small, very short brief so that time is not wasted in that. After that, I'll tell you my journey in this UPSC. How many times I failed, when did I succeed, how did I succeed, and then I'll tell the strategy. Now, before that, my hearty thanks to India for IAS, Kedar sir IAS, and Srinivas sir, and all the faculty of India for IAS. Thank you so much for inviting me. My association has been with the 2024 CSE interview times. And thanks to Kedar sir, he conducted an interview for Karnataka candidates without any cost or fee what other institutes are charging, hefty fees for everything. So it was a wonderful experience. Being in Karnataka, we had to travel all the way to Delhi for mock interviews. So our time only, sir helped a lot and they guided me a lot. Srinivas sir also helped me for 2025 mains through his other faculty, etc. Because I've written another mains to improve my rank. That's why I'm here. I did not join Labasna. I've taken exemption from FC. I'll be joining the Parent Academy directly, December say. So hearty thanks to India for IAS for all the guidance and to invite me today. So short introduction, then my journey, then my strategy, adar jotegene what corrections you should do in your strategy. So that will be the structure of my talk. Sir, if you allow me, it will be a little long talk because obviously the strategy will take some time. So I am Squadron Leader Vinutha, retired or released from the Indian Air Force after Short Service Commission. Before that, I've done my engineering. And why I got into Air Force was because when I was in IIT, there was a fast track selection happening for Indian Air Force. So I never planned to be in the military, but it was like a pure coincidence and I got in. And for short service officers, there's not much scope to go up in the hierarchy. The permanent commission for women came only recently. So when I was still thinking, there was no such scheme. So I decided a befitting career would be civil service after military. So I started preparing and last year of service I started it. But I could not do it satisfactorily being in service. It was a very hectic job, you can imagine. So after retirement, ನಾನು dedicatedly prepare ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೆ. 2-3 attempts I was unsuccessful. So I took up this state government job, Deputy Director of Sainik Welfare. And when I joined that year, I cleared prelims, mains, everything in the first go itself. I had failed first 4 prelims. First prelims, I don't count it as a serious attempt. It was just for my experience. I can say 3 prelims I failed. Overall, this was my 5th attempt, 2024, in which I cleared everything in the first go. Mains also, interview also, and I got into the list. Now I got ranked 906. Because of my community, I could get into Indian Revenue Service. If you are a general category student, you will have to work much harder. That is to be straightforward. Otherwise, nothing to hide here. we should know how much efforts one has to put. So to improve my rank further, I have given 2025 attempt once again. Now yes, my mains marks could have been better. So main strategy, I will tell what I did in 2025 because now I feel I've improved the strategy. But my prelim strategy was very good. I scored much above the general category cutoff. Especially in 2023 when I failed, when I saw the unsuccessful marks of the candidates, I had got 89 in paper 1. Cutoff for general in that year was 75. So in prelims, I have a very good strategy to guide you all now. And in CSAT, I had failed that year. So my some part of the talk will be about CSAT also. Because of CSAT, I could not clear. Otherwise, general 75 marks ittu, I had scored 89 when I checked the marks. So prelims, I have a very good idea to tell you. Mains, I'll also tell you because I think I've implemented the same in this attempt, 2025, results of which will be by this year end only. So 2020 was an experimental attempt. I'll not talk about that. Now 2021, I scored less in GS1 in itself, and CSAT was okay. 2022, again, it was because of CSAT. Now you might be thinking I am a MTech from IIT Delhi and engineer, so why madam is failing in CSAT? It is very easy. So you should open 2023, 24, 25 CSAT papers to understand that. Because CSAT is not like what it was in 2014, 15, 16. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು 3 hours ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೊರಟೋದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ you'll get, what do you call that, chombu. You will not clear. And you may get very good marks in general studies paper 1, but you'll fail in CSAT for sure. So now I think they have made aptitude paper very beautiful, I would say. After clearing it, I can say it's beautiful now because now they want people with good aptitude. That is the base of, management or whatever. Like what IIMs do. So if you see 2023 paper, they had asked CAT level questions. Arun Sharma, sir, Arun Sharma was a CAT topper, 99.99 so many times. He has his own institute, Mindworks. He has a book, Quantitative Aptitude. In that there is level of difficulty 1, 2, 3 problems. Level of difficulty 3 problems they had put the same questions in the 2023 CSAT paper, if you see. So what happened was, 2022 I had failed CSAT. So I worked so much for maths. And I had joined time coaching and all that to improve my calculation speed. They do banking coaching also, CAT also. So I attempted the paper. So I started with maths, thinking that nange maths weak ittu, maths odidini, maths alli accuracy idre correct agutte. English alli you don't know. You will feel it's correct, but it may end up being wrong. Maths will guarantee you can say, correct agide anta. So I started with maths. 30 minutes aitu, 45 minutes aitu, I could not solve even 5-6 questions. So I lost the confidence. Prelims is only 2 hours paper, I hope you all know that. So by 2 hours, I already knew this attempt is done. Agodilla. So when I came back and when the results came, obviously I knew I'll not clear. What I came to know was that year, so many of my friends, and coaching Ali, who used to take guidance from me during CSAT preparation, they had cleared CSAT. And they used to get 60 marks something. I used to get 100 marks in mock tests. Then I understood that maths was designed in a way it was not supposed to be attempted. If you solve it later, I could understand it was not a paper solvable in 2 hours. You could not have solved even if you were IIT and IIT BTech also. I'm IIT MTech. So sometimes the strategy has to be good. If maths is difficult, switch to RC. That day RC was very easy. None of the RC kade nodliku time sikirlilla. I was stupid in that attempt. RC was very easy. RC, you understand, reading comprehension, that paragraph questions. It was very easy. Those who attempted that thinking nang maths barala, nanu adanu nodade illa, I'll just do RC, they were safe. Avrige paper tough alvo adu gottagirlilla because they never looked at maths also. So your strategy has to be very careful in CSAT. Don't panic. You sit in the exam hall. First of all, you prepare and go. if maths is tough, go to RC tough idre maths ಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. Strategy should be to cover maximum problems in 2 hours. 80 questions irutte, not 100 like paper 1. 2.5 marks each, 1/3 negative marking. Minimum 60 you should attempt. If your speed is decent. If you're slow, okay, do 50 at least, nothing below 50, 50. And accuracy should be good. It's not like ನಾನು 60 question ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು if you blindly mark, no use. So why I'm stressing so much on CSAT is it has become a deciding factor these days. You know that, I think. Some of you who have attempted, you must have realized this. 2025 also, it was tricky. For me, it was not at all tricky because 2023 already I had that experience, sitting in the hall panicking. So now I didn't panic. I very coolly, calmly did maximum RC first and then picked up all the maths questions, thought in a calm state of mind, applied the logic and got the answers. So I've cleared the prelims, wrote mains, waiting for result. So now how you should prepare for CSAT, I'll talk after this. First I'll tell my journey. Now 2025 I've written. First paper also, first 2 attempts alli it was very difficult. I didn't know what I was doing. So many questions. Mocks alli they used to ask so many things which I never understood. What is that? PYQs were relatively easy, but the mock questions were very tough and all. I used to get less marks. I was so demotivated. But by 3rd attempt, GS1 marks started increasing. So basically it's a cumulative knowledge. It builds up over time. Not mugging up blindly, should absorb it in depth also, but the amount of knowledge which builds up with time, that helps you clear the cutoff. So if you're a thorough, studious, sincere student, you can do that in 1 year itself. Or if you're slow learner and if you take time to read books, you will take more time. So that build up of knowledge, that helps clear the cutoff. Paper 1, it will happen with time. So initially you may think nange minimum marks barta illa mocks alli etc anbito, but it will take time and you'll improve that. And it is in your hands how short you'll make your journey. And that's about prelims. Paper 1, it's with time. That happened with me. By 3rd attempt, in 2022, my GS1 marks were above 100. That year, cutoff for general was about 98 or something, I think. Mine were above 100. Again, CSAT I had failed that year. 2023, again I failed in CSAT. GS1 was 89, cutoff for general was 75. Now 2024 only, both were good and I cleared it. Mains now. Mains only, I have only one experience till now in which I was successful. The cutoffs are different for different category. For my category, I had cleared the cutoff. I would not say it's a very good marks. So I improved my strategy in this attempt, 2025. I'll tell you what I did. Now, mains I cleared. Then I went to the interview. Interview was always confident. In fact, mains also I was confident, but I got a little less marks against what I had expected. So strategy is important. Now interview, I was confident because I was in the Air Force for 10 years. So facing people, talking to people was never a problem for me. I would consider myself as an extrovert that way. And Kedar sir and Srinivas sir from India for IS helped me a lot during interview preparation. They had one mock interview in IS Officers Association. I still remember that day, very nice day and very nice questions asked by sir. That question kept on repeating, that Andaman Nicobar question which you asked sir, transshipment port. That question kept on repeating in so many other interviews. So sir was more prepared than us, I would say, to ask questions to us. So interview was enjoyable phase for me. Only thing I had to brush up the current affairs and ನಿಮ್ದೊಂದು detailed application form 2 ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮೊದಲು combined ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. Again 2020 final they've made it combined. Everything they've taken it together only. So in 24 we had separately submitted after mains results were declared. So whatever you write in DF2, they may ask anything from that. You'll write my hobbies cycling or my hobbies marathon. So they'll ask you something about that. Basically they're not checking whether you are having a hobby or not. They're checking whether you're lying. And they're checking whether you have a certain leadership quality through some method, through your answers, they're looking at your personality, mainly. Don't think that they're trying to know how much knowledge you have of marathon or anything. Some personality aspects they're trying to check: integrity, honesty, truthfulness, and some bit of factual things also. They'll check your awareness, how interested you are in the happenings around you, current affairs. So I was asked questions on international relations, the current happenings at that time, February 2025, when nandu interview aadaga. So current affairs also you need to brush up that 1 month plus minus whatever. I used to continue the same thing, Hindu paper. Then economy also some questions were there. Then I was from Indian Air Force and in electrical engineering. Electrical engineering also I had prepared and gone. But electrical engineering, luckily they didn't ask me. I was praying that they don't ask because I'd forgotten everything. 1 decade ago I have finished my post-graduation, graduation and all that. So they have that intelligence. They're very senior people. They understand what to ask, what not. They didn't ask me about electrical engineering. So they asked me about Indian Air Force. Naturally, they want you to talk in interview. They're not asking you questions so that you should not be able to answer. They want you to talk. They'll make you comfortable. But through your answers, they'll try to judge your personality. And don't try to impress them. I will say be what you are. And they will analyze where you fit in. Best idea or suggestion for interview is be yourself. But be yourself in a polished way, not your normal self like what you are in the informal setting. So, interview aitu. So, Air Force ಬಗ್ಗೆ questions ಇತ್ತು, international relations, economy, and somebody asked me about civil aviation stuff also. So, these you should not treat as PYQs. These are not PYQs for me. Interview questions are tailored as per the candidate. So, you don't go and read about civil aviation. If you write you are from an agriculture background, they'll ask you questions on agriculture. So interview is tailor-made for that candidate. Some questions will get repeated. Like military nalle, Field Marshal Maneksha's statement, something was asked to me. And when I went back in the interview transcripts, some transcripts are shared on the Telegram. Some channels are there, you can join them. So there somebody had shared it from some year. So some questions, they have a bank. They keep repeating. But something which is very specific to that candidate, don't bother about those questions. So ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ broad idea ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So interview questions are not equal to PYQ questions. That's what I'm trying to say. Only PYQs you should be worried about is prelims PYQs of UPSC and mains PYQs, not interview PYQs. So interview ಆಯಿತು. Interview, the moment the interview was over, I was very sure ki I've done well. But I was expecting a better rank, thinking that my mains was good. But my mains marks were actually below what I expected. So my rank went much behind. But thankfully, I was, I think, last but one to get IRS. After that, the other services started. Nothing against the other services. All services are good. But I was hoping that I want IRS. I got it. So this is my journey. Now, in interview, they may ask about your role models, etc. Role models, andre, who do you consider as your, standard or ideal to be? So, I told certain name. And don't mug up such things, be honest about it. And the best part for me was I was not prepared for that question. So, I told something from my heart. So that will tell them why you want to be an IAS or IPS or IFS. What is the motivation behind your purpose? So when I answered that question, I myself, it was a revelation for me also in that moment, that second when I was sitting there. I told a certain person's name who was related to another person who was in the Air Force. So I understood, I have an emotional connection to this. That's why I'm doing this. So one more reason for knowing about your role model is it tells about your inner hidden motivation why you want to do this. So that has to be very strong. It can be positive motivation also, negative also, but it's in your hands to convert the negative motivation into a positive one. So if you have a strong reason to do this, I feel you'll do this. any way, any day. Your friends will leave after some years. ಯಾರು ಬಿಡೋ ನಂಗೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯಿತು ಸಾಕು, KS ಆಯಿತು, ಇದಾಯಿತು ಅದಾಯಿತು, ದೇ ಲೀವ್. But if you have a strong one reason within you, you will find a way. ಆ ದಾರಿ ನೀವೇ ಹುಡುಕೋತೀರಾ and you will crack it. So that role model has that importance in your journey. And don't mug up for that. Who is your role model? You introspect, self-introspect, understand your drive, what drives you. So it will be more clear, and that will give you the biggest push. Like they say, motivation is internal, it cannot be external. So that's about how it happened. So result bantu April 22, the day of Pahalgam attack. So we could not celebrate completely. Then the service allocation came in July, first week. Now training started in Labasna August 24th or 25th. I didn't go because I sought exemption on the grounds of mains 2025. Or you can seek exemption based on medical grounds also. So after results, I immediately gave the prelims. I was preparing. You don't know what will happen. So I was preparing anyway. I wrote the prelims after results, cleared it and prepared for mains and wrote the mains now. Now mains ge time cut ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. July ಇಂದ ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್ವರೆಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಮೊದಲು, ಈಗ ಆಗಸ್ಟಲ್ಲೇ ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೆಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್. Very short time to relax and then prepare, revise, very short time. So that's it. Now quickly the strategy. Okay, so I'll verbally tell you because there is no board here and I don't have any material to show you also. So with your permission, I'll take some more time to explain this strategy. So prelims ge subject wise I'll tell you, okay. Polity, Lakshmikant, that's your Bible, and you have to make notes. ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ, ಯು ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಥರನೇ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೀಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ 1 day or 2 days before exam you cannot revise from the book. You will get panic seeing the size of the book only. So ನೀವು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Lakshmikant, cover to cover you have to read. No chapter you should leave, okay. After the chapters end, there are so many appendices and all that you can skip, but the chapters, all of them you have to read. Take the latest edition because politinally there are so many dynamic changes every day. So you buy the latest edition, don't worry about money for Lakshmikant. And Hindu paper, Hindu or Indian Express, but I personally followed Hindu, so I can talk about Hindu. Hindu-nalli editorials and articles, analysis, and personally, sir, I had followed Shubhra Ranjan ma'am for polity, PYQ videos. You need not take the course, or YouTube-nalle ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. If your optional is PSIR, you can go in depth. And she did some crash course on polity that I had enrolled long ago. I had some material on that, but mainly the PYQs and Lakshmikant is your base. All others are optional, but Lakshmikant is mandatory. And PYQs ಮಾಡಿ, Lakshmikant book ಅಲ್ಲಿ end ಅಲ್ಲಿ PYQs ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ year wise. That is good, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. I think year wise, not topic wise. So if you're preparing first time, topic wise you keep covering as you do. If you are second timer, third timer, you can directly attempt year wise PYQ instead of topic wise. So that's about it. Test series, India for IS, I don't know if they have launched the test series for you. Try India for IS test series also. Take any test series and keep doing it. Otherwise others are also available. Telegram alla sigbidutte nimge, Vision IS, Vajiram and Ravi, anything, everything, okay. So you take mock tests, you do PYQs, do it parallelly, or at least after 50% syllabus ಆದಮೇಲೆ you start. Don't think na syllabus mugili ಆಮೇಲೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ. Syllabus will never get completed. Till the time you step into the exam hall, syllabus will not be completed. You ask rank 1 also, her syllabus also is not completed. So Prelims Doctor anta India for IAS ಅಲ್ಲಿ they have a famous program now. So you follow their structuring, test series, material, keeping this as base. This should be the base. Take value addition from them and build up your knowledge. Okay? And notes ನೀವು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀಕಾಂತ್ದು, there are 3 stages of notes. First stage notes, you will end up writing everything in the book. So your notes will also be bulky. ಅದನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೂ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Then you filter that also. So in the end, your notes should have only those things which you cannot remember. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ನೋಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬಾರ್ದು. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರಲ್ಲೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ನೋಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ನೀವೇ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ದಪ್ಪ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೂ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟು ದಪ್ಪ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೂ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮದು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಲಿಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ it's easy for you to revise, and it will remove that panic tension from you. Last minute revision alli you have a small book and alli illi nododen beda, you have one book ashte. So this is very important to separate noise from information and multiple revisions. Both are important. Okay, so that's about polity. Then international relations. Of course, whatever I'm saying, India for IAS do ನೀವೇನು material ಇದೆಯೋ that you follow anyway. Apart from that, I mean, addition to that, I'm telling. International relations, what I did was UN websites, internet, Hindu newspaper. And there was one Dipen sir, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ನಾನು ಕೋರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಎನ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಟೆಲಿಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು, ನಾನು ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಇಟ್. He was good for international relations particularly. Then PT 365 vision, though everybody does it, so I also did it like bits and pieces from that, not completely cover to cover anilla, just to see what is there. Usually what I used to do was ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಗಝಿನ್ಸಿಂದ ನಾನು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಬಿಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡ್ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ವಿಷನೈಸ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಐಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಇಸ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನೀವು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇಯರ್. ದೆನ್ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವಾಟ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯು ರೈಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಐ ಡಿಂಟ್ ಮೇಕ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್. Some base static portion you can make notes, like organizations, bodies ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಅದರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್, ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್. ಅದು so many years I didn't attempt that only. They ask very I don't know, less noticed questions. Maybe it is intentionally kept so that only few can attempt it. So I never attempted map-based questions at all. But if you are good in that, if that interests you, keep Oxford Student Atlas with you. Oxford Student Atlas, Hindu newspaper. Adralli ene places bandre, you just mention in your notebook. Don't make notes from newspapers. It will become a very bulky thing by the time you write exam. If at all you make notes, it should be only facts, very small facts. One ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮದು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ಪೇಪರ್ ನೋಟ್ಸು, ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ಲಿ 10 or 15 pages ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ ಆ ಮೆಥಡಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಮೇಕ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಡೋಂಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಹಾನಿ. ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ರೈಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಇನ್ ಯೋರ್ ಬುಕ್, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ನೀವು ಆಮೇಲೆ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬಟ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಟು ವರ್ಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಬಲ್ಕಿ. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ರಿವೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಶೋರ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಬರೋದನ್ನ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕೀಪ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಬುಕ್. ನಾವು ವಾಟ್ ಟು ರೀಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟು ರೀಡ್, ಇದು ನಿಮಗೆ ವಿತ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಚರಾ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಯೋರ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಯೋರ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಧೀರೆ ಧೀರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ. ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಅ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಇನ್ ಯೋರ್ ಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಈ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ದು ಡೇಟಾ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಿಥೌಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್, ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಟ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ. ನೀವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೇಷನ್, ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮಚ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಗಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, so and so as per report, so and so. Quote the report, quote the source, quote the number. Don't bluff. They'll easily find out if you bluff. Some people bluff, but they will have written all other accurate information, and if they bluff in only one or two places, chalega. But your answer paper should not be full of bluff only. I'm talking about mains. Prelims anyway, it's only objective. Okay, so international relations aitu. Then economy. Economy, I didn't follow any institute per se, but there was one teacher, Basava Upin, who I should mention because I give my credit for economy completely to Basava sir, Upin sir. I don't know where he is now because the previous institute where he was is now closed down. So he has changed the institute now. And Modulu or Bangalore, now he has moved to Delhi. ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಸರ್ವೆ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಡೂ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಎಲ್ಸ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಟ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ವಿತ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್, ಐ ವುಡ್ ಸೇ, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಟು ಬಸವ ಉಪ್ಪಿನ್ ಸರ್. His material is available on YouTube videos ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಆ PPT ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಫಾರ್ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಸರ್ವೆ. You need not make notes from his lectures. ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲ PPTನಲ್ಲೇ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ. And year endally he used to do a crash course for prelims and mains. That I followed. That's all I did for economy. I didn't do anything else for economy. And because of him, it was like very easy for me. ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ನೇ ಹೊರಟೋಯ್ತು. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ವರಿಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ, ಏನೋ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಒಂದು 11th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ನೋ NCERT ಇದೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಒನ್ ಯು ರೀಡ್ ಒನ್ಸ್. After that, your base is enough. With that, you do any tutors material. And PYQs, sir used to include in his own PPTs and lectures. ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ you make sure you cover the PYQs. Don't leave the PYQs. In economy, some PYQs have been repeated. I have noticed that. And mock tests, of course. India for IAS and any other institute. Pick up any mock test and do it. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಕ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಒಂದು 20 FLT ಆಗಬೇಕು ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್. 20 FLTs of GS1, 20 FLTs of GS2. And analyze your mistakes quickly. ಒಂದರಲ್ಲೇ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಗಂಟೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಲಿ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್, ರಿವೈಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ನೌ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. FLTs ನೀವು ಜನವರಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮಿಡ್ ಜನವರಿಯಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟೈಮರ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಟೈಮರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಮ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್, ಮಾರ್ಚಿಂದನೂ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಫೀಲ್ ನನ್ನ ಕೈಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು. ಆವಾಗ ನೀವು ಮಾರ್ಚಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ CSAT ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಜನವರಿ. FLT ಎಲ್ಲ CSATಗೆ this coaching institutes, the mocks, you start from January only. And if you are weak in maths, ನೀವು ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್ ಇವಾಗಲೇ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. CSAT ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅಂತ ಬಿಡಬೇಡಿ. ಇವಾಗಲೇ ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಟೇಕ್ ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ವೀಕ್ ಇನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ವೀಕ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ. ದೆನ್ ಕೆಲವು ವೀಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಫ್ರೀಯಾಗಿ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲೂ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಅಫೋರ್ಡ್ ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. Some 20 FLTs at least. I'm telling at least. Some people have done 30 also. And then you have to revise them. Towards my 4th and 3rd attempt and all, I could not revise the mocks. ನಾನು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕೀ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಅಚ್ಚಾ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಫ್ರೆಷರ್, ನೀವು ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ನ. Then when you're third timer, fourth timer, you can manage without analyzing the mocks completely. ಒಂದು 10 marks ಹಂಗೆ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬಾಕಿ you attempt and leave it. Okay, so that's the thing. So that's about CSAT. I did from some CAT institutes because ನನಗೆ I wanted that extra confidence. I am of the belief that ನೀವು 10ನೇ ತರಗತಿದು ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ you should be able to face an exam of 11th standard. Then only you can surely clear the 10th standard exam. That is my philosophy for CSAT. ಸೊ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ನಾನು 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ PYQ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ. ಬಿ ಒನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಬೌವ್. ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಆಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿ 2 questions, be prepared for level of difficulty 3. Do CAT PYQs also, not CSAT, CAT PYQ in YouTube. And ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ವರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವಿಂಗ್ ಯೋರ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್, ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸು ಅದು ಇದು. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ನನಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸಾಲ್ವೇ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್. ಕ್ಯಾಟಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಶುಡ್ go only for the skill improvement ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So go for PYQs of quantitative aptitude part of CAT. Even CAT do RC also is good. ಮೀನಾಕ್ಷಿ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಮೇಡಮ್ದು ಬುಕ್ ಇದೆ. She has written reading comprehension book that is very verbal comprehension or something like that, ability or something for CAT. That book is very big and it has mostly CAT pattern. CAT alli do arranging sentences and all that is there, which is not asked in CSAT. It will not be of use to you fully. Adralli ಏನು ರಿಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದು ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀವು ಪಿಕಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ be very thorough with CSAT. That's why I'm spending so much time because of my tough journey with CSAT. Then do mocks, improve your speed. ನೀವು 2 hours ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ 40 ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದರೆ 100% ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಶ್ಯೂರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, RC ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಅದು ವಿಲ್ ನೋ. ಓಕೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ RC, ಯೂಶಲಿ ದಿ ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬ್ಲೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಎನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್, even for UPSC questions, they cannot give the exact answer for RC. You will notice there is a mismatch between answer key of the institutes and the official answer key of UPSC. So make sure when you are doing PYQ, you go with the official answer key for especially CSAT and all subjects as such. Because RC nalli you will see a lot of mismatch. So be careful. ಸೊ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಪಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಯಿತು, ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಫಾರ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ನೋ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್. ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್, there was one Vaishali Anand book for environment which is very less known. She was faculty with some institute modlo, ivaga she's written her own book. Her book is good. Then PMFI's book also some people follow. I didn't read it fully. Environment, I didn't read any book fully. ನಾನು ಮೊದಲು ಒಂದು ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ನಂದು, ಅದನ್ನು ಬೇಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಐ ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗಝಿನ್ಸ್, ಎನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗಝಿನ್, ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಆರ್ PT 365, ಮೇನ್ಸ್ 365, ಟೇಕ್ ದಿ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟಫ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇರ್. ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಬೇಸ್ ಒಂದು ಇರಬೇಕು. ಬೇಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟಿಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ದಿ ಇಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ even in the pollution and biodiversity, etc., there are some things which are like the historic stuff which will not change. ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಟ್ಕೊಬಿಡಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹುಡ್ಕೋದು ಬೇಡ. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಕಂಫರ್ಟಬಲ್ ವಿತ್ UN ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ಸ್ದು PDF ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾವ ಪೇಜು ಲೈಕ್ UNFCCC ಆಯಿತು, ಕ್ಯೋಟೋ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಮಾಂಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಫೋಲ್ಡರ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಬಿಡಿ. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಯು ರಿವೈಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಯು ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಒನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ದೆನ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ PYQs ಮಾಡಿ, ಬಟ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ in UPSC prelims there are so many questions on forestry, species and environment, because it is a common prelims for forest service also. Okay. So some questions are deliberately made too specific. So sometimes I just blindly skip the environment questions. I don't even worry about preparing for it in the next year. One the other attempt admale I got that confidence. Acha, okay, if I don't attempt this environment also, I can manage and better. But if somebody of you is from forestry, agriculture background, and if your main focus is forest service, then you can go ahead and prepare well as per the PYQs, especially agriculture or forestry mele, then you will be able to solve them also. So sometimes environment and such questions are very technical and vague. I'm telling you, don't worry about it. Worry about the major chunk and the main subjects. like polity, economy, modern history. So don't think why they've asked about so and so species. ಆ ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ PhD ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯು ಫೋಕಸ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗಬಹುದು, ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟು ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಯಾವುದು ಏನೋ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಫಿಕ್ಸೇಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಡಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೈ ಸಜೆಷನ್. Then science also same thing like what I told for this thing, environment, internet, and PIB, Press Information Bureau releases ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾಂಚ್ ಆದರೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕೀಪ್ ನೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಡೌನ್. ಈ PIB ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿಂದೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಡೀ ವರ್ಷದ ಓದ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ IAS tomorrow, but you cannot do this. You cannot cover the entire 1 year's newspaper in 1 day, 1 week, even if you're a Hanuman. So ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಇಯರ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಬೇಸಿಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. PIB, ಹಿಂದೂ ಪೇಪರ್, PIBನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ದು ರಿಲೀಸಸ್ಸು, ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಸು, ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ಸು. ನೋಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಬರೆದಿದ್ರು ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಯು ನೋಟ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ಕ ಬಂದು ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು. That's for science. Ministry reports, websites, PIB releases, Hindu paper of course. Hindu paper is common for all, editorials, articles. For example, science ali, I'm not able to recall any prelims question. Like I can tell you what might be important. Like nanomaterials are always in news. So UPSC will ask, nanomaterials can be used for so and so, so and so, so and so. Then 1, 2, 3 are correct. All the above are correct. ಆ ಥರ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೊ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಯುವರ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ. ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್. ಇಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್, ನೀವು ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಿಂದನೇ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಹೂ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ NCERTs ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 8, 9, 10 at least. 8, 9, 10. 11, 12 is not required. ಎನ್ವೈರ್ನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ 11 or 12ದು ಲಾಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್, ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ. ಆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಓದ್ಕೊಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯು ಮೇಕ್ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಟೈಮ್. ಬಾಕಿ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆನ್. So biology, sometimes they ask lot of gene editing questions. Gene editing, genetic diseases, some mitochondrial I don't know, diseases or something, ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಕನ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಇಯರ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಬಯೋಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ, ನ್ಯಾನೋಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ, ರೊಬೋಟಿಕ್ಸ್, AI ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಿ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅದನ್ನು, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ವೆಲ್ ನೋನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಆಲ್ ಓವರ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. Any scheme of the government related to this, you should know all that. Okay, so that's about science, environment, economy, polity, international relations. Then comes any other subject. Geography I never prepared dedicatedly for prelims because it was my optional. Geography was my optional, and my marks in a way went down because of geography only, because geography paper was tough in 2024. 2020 finally it was relatively better. I've done better this time. So geography prelims ge I didn't prepare dedicatedly. Physical geography is there mostly in prelims. Economic geography also they ask usually reserves, e mineral reserve, e country nallide, match the following anbiಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿತ್ತು question, Congo or something. So these things, I think NCERTs are the best source for you people. I honestly didn't do NCERT because my optional was geography. But you have to do something because you should have some source, be it coaching material agli, anything, you revise it. Physical geography, GC Leong standard. Then there's one physical geography NCERT also. That also you do. Then Oxford Student Atlas, not School Atlas. Oxford Student Atlas. You can see the mountain ranges, etc., and remember them, revise them. YouTube videos ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು reverse mountain ranges, those things you can quickly revise through YouTube videos. Do multiple watching of those videos. In fact, ನೀವು reverse the videos ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದೇ ಸಲ you make a notes of your own. So and so river, the origin, tributaries, right bank, left bank, make a map also of the river. and places where it flows through, states where it flows through, which ocean it drains into. These things, if you make it once, your efforts in the exam time will be much lesser and you will not be tensed. So you'll know, ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. So mountain ranges also similarly you can do that. Which is the mountain range, in which country, how many countries it passes through, what is the highest peak in that range, in which place is it situated, and this Tropic of Cancer, Equator, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle, common things. And any current happenings also you write, like El Nino, La Nina, those things also you have to know. Like ಈಗ bomb cyclones ಅಂತ it was in news. Some different terms which you see in newspaper, immediately put into your notes. Read about it, at least read, have that curiosity ಇರಬೇಕು ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಏನೋಪ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಗೆ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಾಸಿಟಿ, ಇನ್ನೇಟ್ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಾಸಿಟಿ ಟು ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. So then on, that is why out of all of you, only few will succeed, because most of you are just, ಓದ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. Some of you will have that actual curiosity. Keep that curiosity alive. Don't do it like a zombie. So UPSC is smart enough to find out that. So you may have 800 marks in written, but if you don't have that good personality, that curiosity, magap madi hengo, if you've reached that stage, in the interview also they can make sure you will not enter the list. So I'll give an example. I got so marks in mains, which I don't feel it's good, but I got 206 in interview. Now there was one more candidate behind me in the rank, means not so good rank. He had got 100 marks more than me in written. But why he was behind me? Because he got 100 marks less than me in interview. That can also happen. So your personality also should be good. So have that curiosity, okay? Don't be a very boring person, I would say. You should be an interesting person, also interested about things. I covered geography, economic geography, human geography. Human geography means economic geography only. Optionally, you have to study other things and all. That is not required here. Then physical geography, rivers, mountains. In fact, sometimes they ask about African rivers also. So and so river drains into which ocean. So at least main rivers to nodkoli and make a notes and leave it, because rivers will not change by the time you write prelims. So it's dynamic. It's not dynamic, it's static. So decrease your workload. Your life will be comfortable then. Then cyclone, Indian case ali cyclones, monsoons, all those things, okay? Anything else? Any subject I've left out for prelims? Main thing. See, modern history questions 2024 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು. We had studied back-to-back spectrum book and gone. Questions ಬಂದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. 2025, this attempt, they were increased. So seeing the question paper, you cannot say, ancient ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, medieval ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, so on so. It can change. So medieval history also has changed. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಈ ಇಯರಲ್ಲಿ 2025ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬೇಸ್ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ. ನಾವು ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಓದ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಸ್ಟಫ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೇನ್ಸ್, and for which I refer to some topper notes, Madhav Agarwal, AAR 16, for post-independence. So don't refer spectrum for post-independence. Stop at that partition wala chapter and independence, partition and independence. Adadmel kelu British economic policies, education policies do chapters ide. Read that also and stop there. Don't go to post-independence political developments alla odbedi. Now with spectrum you must make notes, no excuse. And notes prepare ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಹಿಡಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ನೌ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಲಿ. ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಬೆಟರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಅರೈವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಏನೋ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, 3rd chapter or something. From that, I don't know now 3rd or 4th latest edition ಅಲ್ಲಿ take a latest edition again, because spectrum ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ PYQs ಇಂದ they keep adding. So buy the latest edition of modern history spectrum. Then make notes from I think chapter 3 or something till that independence ಆದಮೇಲೆ economic policies ಏನೋ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸು, those chapters. For every chapter, you make notes. And in the first stage notes, ನಾನು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ 200 ಪೇಜಸ್ದು 400 ಪೇಜಸ್ದು 2 ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಯಿತು ನಂದು ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಯು ಕಾಂಟ್ ರಿವೈಸ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಅನದರ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗುಡ್ ಎನಫ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್, ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. You will know what to write and what not to write in your notes. Don't write everything in your notes. Write those things which you must remember and which you will know that you will definitely forget after first revision. Second revision alli gnapaka iralla nanage. I should need a reading of it annodana matra ನೀವು notes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. Leave all that English grammar, sentence completion, all that full stop, comma. You reduce the words, sentences, everything. Do it in a very smart way. So spectrum the notes ready irbeku. Now ancient and medieval. Ancient ge I used old NCERT history book. Adrinda notes ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Because that old NCERT you cannot sit one day before exam to revise. You are gone. You will not clear prelims if you sit like that. You should have a notes. So adu ಒಂದು source ittu. Then my coaching notes ittu. Ancient history do. So those two things, one of them has to read. One nande notes from old NCERT or nandu coaching do notes. Keep one. Don't take this, that, ella kadeinda. Ancient history is ancient history. Nobody can change it and make their own this thing. So keep one source. And PYQs ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ancient history ge. Then current happenings related to ancient history, like ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಇಂಡಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿದು ಹೊಸ ಸೈಟ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು, ಸೌತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಮೆಗಾಲಿಥಿಕ್ ಹೊಸ ಸೈಟ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಯು ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಇನ್ ಯೋರ್ ಬುಕ್. ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಇಫ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಮೇನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು. ದೆನ್ ಮಿಡಿವಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಯೂಶಲಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಬಟ್ cannot predict. It can increase any time. Mainly you have to read Vijayanagara Empire, Delhi Sultanate, the Bahmani Sultanate, and what is that? Bhakti and Sufi movement, important, very important. Bhakti and Sufi, Vijayanagara Empire, Mughals of course is understood. Mughals means medieval as a manlo. Then Delhi Sultanate, Deccan Sultanate, Bahmani, this thing. Bahmani not much because it's more into the KS stuff. Then Southern empires, right? The medieval empires, yenenittu ella. Then art and literature, those stuff of all the kingdoms throughout ancient medieval, adella gothirbeku. So if you're smart, what you will do is, since ancient time till modern time, whatever kingdoms are there, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು art, literature, contribution to sculptures, ಅವ್ರ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಪೊಯಿಟ್ಸು, ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟು, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ವರ್ಕ್ಸು ಎಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ವೈಸ್ ಬರೀರಿ. ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಹೆಲ್ಟರ್ ಸ್ಕೆಲ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಬರೀತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆನೇ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಏನೇನು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಇದ್ರು ಏನೇನು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬರೀರಿ. ಆರ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್, ಆರ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು. ಆರ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ನಾಗರ, ದ್ರಾವಿಡ, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಗುಪ್ತಾ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಶುರುವಾಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಯು ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ದೇರ್ something about that also. Art there also in Gupta notes. Art the separate notes bekadre ಮಾಡಿ, temple styles ಎಲ್ಲ, or in Guptas itself you write. Art ಅಲ್ಲಿ this started during Guptas, examples are so and so temples, then Chandelas do idittu medieval time ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So either you integrate art into history or keep a separate notes for art, but you have notes, because again for arts you will waste time basically. Last ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಓದಬೇಕು ಯಾವ್ದು ಬಿಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ. Sources for art, class 11 introduction to fine arts or something is there, no? That book, that one book is enough. ಅದರಿಂದ ನೀವು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Don't think that I'll read from that NCERT book. ಅದರಿಂದ ನೀವು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Then add more examples. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಟೆಂಪಲ್ದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್ NCERT or new NCERTs or whatever. Then keep your notes as small as possible. Don't try to add everything because you'll not be able to revise that. Ancient done, medieval done, art and culture done, modern history done. Then mocks, obviously I told you that is common for all. Mock tests and PYQs. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೊಸ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಆದರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸೈಫರ್ ಆದರೆ ಯು ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ ಯೋರ್ ಬುಕ್. Wherever you want, you write it in Indus Valley chapter or you write in the current affairs book, whichever you want to. Okay, so leave some space behind each chapter. New notes ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ at least 2-3 pages current happenings ಏನಾದ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Like EWS judgment bantu, politinally you have that chapter on fundamental rights, 15 articles, 6 change aitu, add aitu. So you leave pages behind that chapter so that you can write these developments, at least 4-5 pages in a big book. Now this is about history. Any other subject I left for prelims? Schemes, take any magazine, any institute magazine and study. That's a shortcut. But on a long term, if you want to sincerely study, PIB website, Press Information Bureau of India, ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿದು ರಿಲೀಸಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಎಂಡ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ ನವೆಂಬರ್ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಅದೊಂಥರ ಸಮ್ಮರಿ ಥರ ಆ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸು, ಅದು ಇದು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಸು. ಸೊ ಇಯರ್ ಎಂಡ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೀವು ಡಿಸೆಂಬರಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿ PIBನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದೇನೇ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮ್ಮರಿ ಥರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ನೀವು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಟೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೀಡ್ ಫರ್ದರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯನ್ಯುವಲ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ದು. ದೇ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೆಂದಿ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೋ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಬೆಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋ ಬೈ ದಿಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಎಂಡ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂಸ್. If you have time now, you can read those reports and all. Of course, budget and economic survey you will cover in economy itself. YouTube videos of Basava Upin is a good source. His videos will have PPTs also attached. You read from that. No need to make notes. That's the best part about his this thing. Schemes ಆಯಿತು. Current affairs as such you will do from Hindu. Lastally, any institutes magazines ಅಲ್ಲಿ you go through. either monthly you see or full year summary ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. See, the mistake what most freshers do is too much importance on current affairs. But you'll actually realize 70 or 80% is static material in prelims. Only 20-25% is current affairs, what they ask. So your core static part has to be strong. No excuse in that. ನೀವು ನಾನು ಹಿಂದೂ ಪೇಪರೇ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ಹಾಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ 20-25%. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ ಮೇನ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕೋರ್, ದೀಸ್ ಬುಕ್ಸ್, NCERT ಆಗಲಿ, ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀಕಾಂತ್, ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್, ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಯು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್, ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಂದೂ ಪೇಪರ್. ಸೊ I hope I've cleared all the subjects, prelims. So this is done. Okay, now comfortable with prelims. Then you'll attempt mock tests. Make sure you at least write 2 or 3 tests offline modally, mocks. Just like exam setup. 2 hours, then alle 2 hours iddu center alle second paper. You simulate that environment at least for 2 or 3 tests for prelims. Baki you can sit at home aram se. Don't sit in AC, sit in your bed and attempt the test. Switch off AC, switch on only fan or switch off fan also. Make yourself uncomfortable as much possible and attempt the test. Because all that factors will add to your performance. These are the factors you will take it for granted. You're sitting in AC room now, you're writing test here. Go to a government school and sit and write a test. So that will be the actual atmosphere in which you'll write the main test also. Okay? During the preparation they can enjoy, but for mock tests you should simulate the actual environment. Then online test, baki maximum you can write 3 or 4 you write in the actual environment. Minimum 2 to 3 I will say. Full test. I'm not saying one paper, full paper 1, paper 2, full set. Then practice that OMR ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದೆಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರ. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಲೈನಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಯು ರೈಟ್ ಟೂ ಮೆನಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ OMR. ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟೇಕ್ ಸಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡೂ ಸಿಲಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಮ್ವೇರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್. So that can cost you a year also. People have failed prelims because of 0.25 marks, 0.5 marks. And if you do that, and if you fail because of 0.25, you have to sit at home for 1 year. another 1 year. Imagine that. Okay, so don't get tensed. Tense ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, careless ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. Calm, cool manner you practice. Okay, so quickly shall I cover mains? So do I have time? Quickly I'll do mains. Now base material for polity, economy, history remained the same, no change. Society comes for mains separately. Paper 1 now. Paper 1 only history, world history, then geography, society. These things are there. Anything else I've skipped for GS1 paper? That's all. So history already you know the material, same thing, but do mains, mocks and mains PYQs. By December, till December you do only mains preparation. And by December you should have written 2 FLTs for each paper. If you're attempting 2026, I mean to say. 2 FLTs of each paper and PYQs of at least 10 years ideally, but if you can't do, at least do full paper of 5 years at least. Okay, latest years do madi, because you'll know the latest trend. Don't do 1979 paper and say I've done 5 years PYQs. Do from 2020 to 2025 at least. Adadmele go backwards. Start with 2025, do 5 years. If you can do more, do 10. By December you should have done 10 years PYQs, 2 FLTs at least, I'm saying. If you can do more, very good. And look at topper copies for mains. This is very important. Topper copies ನೀವು ಯಾವ್ದು ನೋಡಬೇಕು? You first take out the list of toppers. Then see their mark sheets. ಯಾರ್ದು ಯಾವ ಪೇಪರಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಕೆಲವ್ರದ್ದು GS ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಪ್ಷನಲ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದೇರ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ GS. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯು ಸಿ the mark sheets of toppers, who is good in which subject, and see their copy. See andre, you see how they write examples, diagrams, the style of writing points. Okay, you see all that. Then topper copies, UPSC PYQs, UPSC answer keys you'll see for prelims, but UPSC does not release answer keys for mains. So the only reference you have is, there is some file floating around a Telegram. Toppers have attempted PYQs and they have made a PDF. Adil sikkadre you see it, handwritten. There is a PDF. Toppers PYQ compilation. Otherwise you make your own PYQs, ideal answers compilation, taking from coaching institutes or whatever. Okay. Then GS1 alli history aito. Geography again, same material will not change. Society I followed my notes from coaching. So you have any coaching notes, add some current affairs to that. For example, uniform civil code is in news. Then divorce laws, Muslim women marriage maintenance, those issues are in news. Shaira Banu case, those things. And then some, I'm just giving examples. ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ನೋಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಯುವರ್ ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಬೇಸ್. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಯು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಸಮ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಇಟ್. That is what will make you different in the mains answers. Okay, if you just write ellaru bariyodane bardbittu bandre and without any data, without any reports, your points will not have any weightage. It will be like kahani, you're telling some story, bluffing atra ansutte. Even if you have understood, you should have data to support your answers. So if I look at topper copies, what I understood was they have examples in each point. And look at Anupriya Shakya, rank 120 or 121, Karnataka. She has done a video on how to write answers. I personally liked her approach to answer writing, Anupriya Shakya. There is Madhav Agarwal also, and Mudita Bansal for ethics actually. She is All India rank 44, Mudita Bansal. Now, GS1 only, anything specific, if I have to mention, I'll tell you. Geography, for example, make a map. In any geography question, small map. Northeast ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ preferably do Northeast map. Don't do whole India map. Do Northeast map and put maps in a box. Any diagram you put it in a separate box and structure the answer. Mains ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂದರೆ introduction, body, conclusion ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Now introductionಗೆ there are some types. One is data based introduction. One is context based, current affairs based. Acha, this question is asked because so and so happened recently. This is one way of introducing. Or introduction can be quote based. Anupriya used to write quotes and that made her answers different. So mainly what will work for you is being different from others, because the evaluators will be bored evaluating so many papers, all are same. So if you make something different in a paper, you look different. That will give you extra marks. 0.5 marks in each answer is enough to make you a topper. The only difference between one who is a topper and not will only be 0.5 marks in each answer. So that 0.5 how you will get is up to you. Diagrams, examples, quotes. So in the introduction, conclusion, if they are ready for each keyword, you know already the keywords. Mainly that's the benefit. The syllabus is very well defined. For example, GS1 already the terms are defined, right? Secularism, communalism, etc., etc. For each of the term, keep an introduction ready. ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರಿಸಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕೋಡ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಿಡಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಕಮ್ಯುನಲಿಸಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕೋಡ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಿಡಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಡೇಟಾ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್. ಎನಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಆನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರಿಸಮ್ ಯು ರೈಟ್ ದಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಗ್ರೇವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ರೆಡಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪನೀರ್ ಹಾಕಿ, ಮಟರ್ ಹಾಕಿ, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. ಯುವರ್ ಗ್ರೇವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ರೆಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಂಟ್ರಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್. Conclusion also, same thing will apply for conclusion. And conclusion, don't neglect the conclusion. Usually ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಂಟ್ರಡಕ್ಷನ್ main body, conclusion read, therefore this has to be done, therefore this is happening. Very boring conclusion. Don't do that. You write so and so scheme is in a right direction, or so and so number people will be uplifted out of poverty because of this, so on and so forth. So your conclusion also should have same focus or importance. So GS paper 1 you already have all the material apart from society, which I told you pick up any notes and all. Now adralli keywords kotidaralla syllabus alli, for each you prepare this way: introduction, conclusion. Body will change. Body you cannot prepare. Body you should know how to structure. See, body you cannot just write paragraph. That will make your answer boring unless the question itself demands it to be paragraph. For example, quote based questions barutte ethics alli. Adralli sometimes you may have to write paragraph essay type answer. Apart from that, most of the answers, in fact all of the answers are point wise and divided into subheadings. Now what are the subheadings? You cannot make a structure. But Obro Shivin sir, he guided well for this 2025. He has this method of structuring. He told so many way of generating dimensions. One is, you all know, pestle approach, political, economic, social dimensions, and then you can make the sections. Or suppose they ask a question saying that how cultural awakening during socio-religious reforms helped generate or helped foster nationalism. Example, this is a question. Okay, idral ನೀವು ಏನು ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸನ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್, ಸನ್ ಹಬ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕೂಪ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರ, saying that what are the constituents of culture. Then you can define what are the constituents of nationalism: having a symbol, having an anthem, right? Having a language, or having a common, territory and all that. So based on that, you generate dimensions and say how socio-religious reforms help to foster a common culture, common language, common, community, because we were divided on the caste lines and all that. How it helped to, mold a united community. So nationalism the dimensions bariri, culture the dimensions bariri, then link the two. That's how you generate dimensions in mains. Understanding? So that's how you have to do based on the question. Now, I cannot give you a set formula for mains because each question is different. For main body, I mean to say, for main body. So now, how you will get the skill of generating dimensions? Yav tara generate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? By practice. Mocks bariri, write a lot of mocks. Look at topper copies. Answer the PYQs and compare your answer with somebody who is good or the topper compilation which you get. Okay, that's how you'll generate. Now GS paper 2, same. Lakshmikant is the base. International relations on Dipensar and other things from internet, etc. PT365 and or any magazine. Then what else is in GS2? Governance. Governance is not in prelims, so you have to do some extra efforts. I took topper notes. I think Madhav Agarwal or some topper, and I added something from my own notes. I had made my own notes also myself. Syllabus keywords again. For each keyword, you should have a ready notes. Last minute, you should not be searching here and there. That means you're not well prepared, you will not clear the exam. So you should have a notes ready. For example, governance, you prelims al odalla. So these are the subjects you finish now, like in October, September. World history agli, post-independence. Don't spend too much time. Post-independence, I went, referred some topper notes and finished it. World history, I had some material. So this international relations, I told you. Governance, again, Madhav Agarwal, I think, and my own notes I had prepared. These things you finish now, which are not in prelims. For example, Lakshmikant and Spectrum, they have an overlap with prelims and mains. That you can do till December, January. ಇದು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರೋದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನೀವು. Then international relations, social justice. Social justice is nothing but schemes, etc. and institutions for social justice. ಕೆಲವು ಅದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಬಾಡೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕವರ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. Other things you make notes as per the syllabus. Each keyword you make notes. Take some topper notes for saving time. But you go through the topper notes first. You select something which suits you and interests you. ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಟಾಪರ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಔಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ರೆಡಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐಲ್ ರೆಫರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೆಫರ್ ಟು ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಸೇವ್ ಟೈಮ್. ದೆನ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ PYQs ಫಾರ್ GS2. GS2 I got good marks, above 100 last year, probably because my base was very strong in polity, Lakshmikant. My Lakshmikant knowledge was very good, so I could write good answers. Governance, they'll ask very difficult questions. Ajkal, if you see the question papers, usually even the toppers won't write the exact answer for governance, but attempt them. Don't leave them. Sometimes you can write it through your experience. If you are working somewhere, work experience in Dane, you can write some answers. Sometimes through common sense, you can write something at least and fill the page. But don't bluff with some wrong data or some, false information. You can attempt through common sense, but don't give wrong inputs. Okay? Governance, always questions are like that. Something new will be asked which you never heard, never seen. But you understand that it's this case with everyone. Yargu gottiralla adu, not just you. So don't get demotivated seeing that one or two questions. You focus on the others which you can do better. And mains alli paper completion should be also ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನೀವು ಒಂದೇ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೀತಾ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಲೀವಿಂಗ್ 2 or 3 questions at least, which is a blunder. So give only that much time which you have decided for each question, move on. ನೀವು ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಆ್ಯಾವ್ರೇಜ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಅದೆರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ಲಿ 0.25 or 0.5 marks ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ ಒಂದೇ ಕ್ವೆಶನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಅಲಂಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿ, don't think that he'll be impressed with that and he'll give you 150. No, he will look at the entire paper. Okay, so 7 minutes per 10 markers, 10 minutes per 15 marker. Sorry, what is that? 15 marker. That should be the time. Either ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ some 10 minutes will remain if you calculate, and that is for thinking, brainstorming, which also will take time, right? Don't rush to write the answer. Some seconds you have to brainstorm, 30 seconds or something. Ivaga you will take more time to brainstorm. Gradually it will reduce. Brainstorm quickly. Lastly, rough work space irutte. You can brainstorm quickly. Sometimes I used to do it in my own mind. You don't get time in mains papers to go to that rough work, come back and transfer it in a neat way. You can't do that. So quickly brainstorm in some seconds and write the answer. And ಯಾವ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯೋ write first. What I used to do was 11 to 20, then 1, 2, 3 and other answers. Because 15 markers you attempt first. You cannot afford to leave a 15 marker question. You attempt them first, always. And then go to 1, 2, 3. Because first impression matters. Even if you don't know them, try to write something there nicely, neatly. Then you attempt the rest. And keep the answers which you don't know to the last. Because at the last till you'll write something and leave. Don't waste time there. So that's all. Then GS3 is very, varied. Mix of so many subjects. That's why even the toppers get in 80s, 90s marks baratte. This time one person got 110 or something. That is the highest, that's all. Even All India rank 1, she also got 85 or something ashte, GS3 nalli. But don't think that that's ashte madakagadu anta. I also told you once, somebody scored 110 also. Because it's a mix of so many subjects. What is that? Economy, environment, internal security. Internal security, I referred to some, I think Shivin sir's material also, internet defense sir's material. You can have any coaching material. And current affairs, like Naxalism is in news. Ending Naxalism, Naxal Mukh Bharat and all that. Put all that in your notes. Ops Sindoor aitu. Ops Sindoor admele, that security doctrine itself has changed. All those things should be in your notes. That can be asked in international relations also and internal security also. Okay. So internal security, disaster management also, I refer to some topper notes. I forgot the topper's name. You take any topper notes and also some coaching notes. Okay. Add the current affairs in that. ಈಗ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಕ್ಲೌಡ್ ಬರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಕೋಟ್. ಓಕೆ. Then economy is done, internal security, disaster management, environment, science I told you already. Same standard topics, nanotechnology, biotechnology, renewable energy. Okay, these things, look at PYQs, do mocks and practice with time limit. Okay, I told you 7 markers 10 minutes, 10 markers 7 minutes, 15 markers 10 minutes. Then GS4 ethics. My sources: lexicon, latest edition, selective reading. Cover to cover odbedi, only some topics. Then topper notes: Madhav Agarwal for ethics, All India rank 16, 2024. Mudita Bansal's test copies for case studies and full answer writing style also. Then do lot of mocks. Ethically, paper completion is a big challenge. You'll know when you're practicing. And paper completion with good quality answer is even a big challenge. You try that. So ethics and essay and optional can make a difference, but it demands more from you compared to other papers. You may think a question nodre, anybody can attempt the paper. Without preparation also you can write ethics paper today. But if you have the exact definition, exact data, link it to constitutional principles, link it to current happenings, link it to some data, add some value. Okay, that's about ethics. Apart from that, there are so many courses which are famous. I didn't take any. Basically, I took bits and pieces from here and there. I didn't follow any single coaching for that. Topper notes I followed: Madhav Agarwal and Mudita Bansal. Then essay I got 107 above average marks. Even toppers usually get in 90s these days because essay has become philosophical, and I feel in that way my answer writing is good, philosophical way and all that. So I could get good marks in one of the mock tests, All India level mock tests long back. I had got 132 marks also. So I think my strategy is good. My strategy is basically to write like a simple story kind of essay. Story means not imagined story like a child. It's like there's a flow and you're expressing your thoughts in simple words and generating philosophical dimensions. Okay. And for example, see, last year I got good marks, but I don't remember the last year's essay. This year I don't know my marks yet, but I can tell you how I wrote. Okay, so one essay was this first partally. I'm trying to remember the essay name. best lessons are learned through bitter experiences. So this is a very simple line, but how you generate dimensions from this is the challenge. Okay, there are 4 essays, you have to choose one in section 1, same. 4 essays in section B, you have to write one. Total 2 essays in 3 hours, 1200 words each. So it's like about 12 to 13 pages, one essay, 12 to 13 pages, second essay. 15 minutes brainstorming initially for essay, 1 hour 10 minutes writing one essay, 15 minutes brainstorming second essay, 1 hour 10 minutes for second essay. This will be 2 hours 55 minutes. Do brainstorming in essay and then write the essay. Essay nalli time sigat nimge bariyake, not like GS papers. So don't rush to write the essay something. Do proper brainstorming, use that rough pages, make a structure, create a table or whatever, write down the example, subheadings, what you're going to write. Don't write point-wise essay. Make a story like essay paragraph, other subheadings bariri. A subheadings ಏನೇನು ಇರಬೇಕು, generation of dimensions should happen in that rough work only. Okay, then quickly write the first essay before you forget what has come to your mind. 1 hour 10 minutes, 1 hour 5 minutes, you should be done with first essay. 15 or 10 minutes for the brainstorming. Then go to the brainstorming of second essay, then write the second essay. Now do a proper simulation of this, then you'll know your essay writing speed. This is as per my speed. It is usually the same for all. You simulate and see, okay? Now, how I generated dimensions? I referred to YouTube videos only. One Shubhra ma'am's style of essay writing I liked a lot. She was the one who introduced how to, do philosophically an essay. Unlike, general studies type, pastel approach and all that, that will make it very boring and your essay will not get you the marks. Some people have got 124, 140 also in 2024 essay. You refer to their videos. All India rank 2, Harshita Goyal or something, I believe. Then one more guy got 144 or something. So you refer to their videos on YouTube. Now I'll tell you, I got 107, above average, because most of them have got in 90s. That's why I'm saying above average. This year's essay I'm telling, not 2024 because I've forgotten it. Abhi, in this means what I wrote. Best lessons I learned from bitter experiences. So I started with the example of, ancient cavemen, how they had to fight against forces of nature, survival of the fittest. So they improved their skills, they improved their, hunting skills, group living skills, etc. Then I came to the philosophical dimension. It's like how your brain is actually a learning machine. Your brain is not a computing machine. Basically, you want to learn only. Your brain is designed to learn only. So you'll naturally keep learning and improving, all those things. Then I asked a question, can humans learn? It is now said that humans are emotional beings. Humans are not rational beings. So humans do not learn, cannot learn. We have the same emotional reactions to situations. We are emotional beings. It's like I'm countering my own argument. That's how philosophical essays are written. Argument, counter argument, another argument and counter argument. Then one more dimension I asked was like a question, why should we learn? Something about determinism and free will. If there is a destiny, if everything is already decided, why should we learn? If things are happening in a pre-decided way. Then in the end I concluded something like, the human soul is in its most evolved form. So it's a responsibility to learn and improve things and do good, etc. Now there was one more essay. Contentment is the real luxury or wealth, and luxury is artificial poverty. Something like that. In that I spoke about what is contentment and Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If somebody is from psychology, that lower level needs will not satisfy you. If you satisfy them, you'll move on to the next level, higher level needs. If your social esteem needs are met, you'll seek self-actualization. Till then, you don't feel that contentment. I wrote about that. Then I wrote about consciousness. Fyodor Dostoevsky, if you have read somewhere about his quotes, he has told that people who are more conscious are the ones who are unhappy. They don't feel contentment. And people who are less intelligent are more happy. So I somehow argued saying that the contentment will only come if you have the average intelligence and not higher intelligence. And then finally, I concluded with the concept of ignorance. Ignorance is bliss, so maybe ignorance only will give us contentment, something like that. Now, I don't know my marks which I scored for this, yet to get the results. But more or less the same approach I applied last year and got 107. Basically, generating philosophical dimensions. And if you want, you can put current affairs dimensions also. For example, in that best lessons are learned from bitter experiences. You can give international relations examples, like how Germany was mistreated in World War I. After that, it led to World War II. So the world after World War II did not go on to punish the Germany again. Rather, it punished the Nazis, but we didn't punish Germany as a nation. United Nations were formed, which was much more better, relatively better effective than League of Nations. So lessons were learned. So you can give such examples also, not just philosophical examples. Okay, so that's about essay. Optional strategy, I think I will skip today because I think different optional students are sitting here. I don't want to bore you all. How many are from geography? Can you raise your hands? Yeah, then no point if I discuss geography optional. Basically, you do lot of mock tests, do PYQs, and optional can make a lot of difference. Optional, essay and ethics usually, but there is one Soumya Mishra, if you see her rank, 44 or something, not 44, maybe 41, I'm not remembering. She got exceptional marks in general studies. She got only 217 in her optional from both papers. So very poor marks. Yes. So I'm finishing now. Basically, she got exceptional marks in general studies, very bad marks in optional. Adu agbodu, but adu rare. Mostly it's optional. Average in every paper will get you to the top. Okay, I've finished now. Sorry, a long session. So quick session of question and answers.
So kindly feel free. The session is now open for questions. Anybody? Meanwhile, we'll also take questions online also. So those who are online can put your questions on the chat box.
Very good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for a very informative session. Like every stages you have explained very briefly and for every subject. Thank you so much, ma'am.
My pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, one thing, ma'am. As you said, like every one of us here, we will study the Lakshmikant, we will study the spectrum, definitely. And definitely we will put 100% efforts. But what makes the difference, the persons who are in the list and remaining people? Like how should be the attitude or a personality of a UPSC aspirants? Does UPSC requires the candidates to change their attitude like when they start preparation like that, ma'am?
Okay, should I answer this with prelims perspective or mains or general?
Generally, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, you want to answer the question? It's an interesting question. Very good question.
ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀವು ಸಮುದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈ ಇರ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನೀರು ತಗೋಬೋದು ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಲೈಟ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ everybody reads the same book, correct? But you can't cut out that paper pieces and paste it. Then ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಒಂದೇ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರೋದು. Then you have to write. ಬರಿತಾ you have to concise it. So first is, how do you concise it? Second, once you write the concise, all of us can write more or less. But what are the lessons that have been drawn? That is where you can show your personality. So answer is not only the content, it is the way you have delivered and the lessons that you want to learn or you want the society to learn. So you have to learn. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಓದಬೇಕು, ಬರಿಬೇಕು, ಮಂಥನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ವರ್ಡ್ ಅದು, ಮಂಥನ. I don't know, some close translation is brainstorming. if you can imbibe your spirit into that, each one of us have a different personality, each one of them, can we show that I stand out? I have applied my mind. If you go through any of the Supreme Court orders, they will say, when they look at my order, they will say that there is an application of mind. If there is no application of my mind, they will throw out the case. So like that, here also UPSC will come to know whether you have applied your mind or you are just given Lakshmikant. If you are given Lakshmikant, you will be the aspirant. But if you have applied your mind, then you will come to me for mentoring for interview. You got it? Your personality is something you must build up. You must try to develop your vision, your views, your perspective, and try to put it. That is where each one of you differ. Otherwise, everybody reads, say, Lakshmi. I was about to tell that she has given so many content. Nam kaladalli irle irlilla. We are dearth of materials. Today there is a fortunate, I am telling fortunately, despite that I took 3 years. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಆವಾಗಲೂ ವಿ ಡಿ ಮಹಾಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಬುಕ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಹೋಯ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಓದೋರು. ಬಟ್ ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ಇಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್, can you reflect your personality in the answer? You got it? So in the mains as well as in the interview, I don't have any expertise in prelims, but in the mains as well as in the interview, whether your perspective, right? So that is where you show a difference. Everybody reads Lakshmikant, but what is it that you finally show your thing? Facts are same, but how do you present it, and what are the each one of you draw the lessons from the same thing different. I hope you have got some clarification. Thank you.
Sir, with your permission, if I can add to that answer, sir. Now, sir told about manthana madodu, brainstorm, and how you can do it. I'm going to just tell you the ways to do that, because that will develop your analytical skills and thinking skills. Read the Hindu editorials regularly. Don't come to classes here, then go back and watch Upendra movies or Upendra story, something. You should change your personality altogether. If you watch YouTube also, watch podcasts of intellectuals. And there is something called Justice series by Stanford University, Michael Sandel. You watch his lectures. It will help you generally, philosophy nallu kuda, ethics allu kuda. Then Hindu editorials. Listen to intellectuals talking. There is one UPSC board member, Lieutenant General retired Raj Shukla sir. He talks, does a lot of podcasts on military, this thing, but generally also you can take up his stuff. That will be helpful for interviews, but right now for mains, prelims, etc., Hindu editorials hotari, because intellectuals write those articles. So you should be in that fraternity to become like them. And that recalling capacity, like what sir said, every brain has one limited capacity. You can't change much. Although people say your brain can expand, I don't know how much and by what. You'll know that during practice only. You try to read something, try to recall and write the same answer without looking at the source. You will know. The recalling capacity will be much different from one person to other. You may have the same notes. So the same thing was there in your university also. Why only few are gold medalists and why not all? Because they also follow the same books. It's the recalling capacity. And that if it's only rote learning, sometimes, I don't know, unfortunately that also works. Because I've seen in my group only, people who didn't have much good, analytical or speaking capacity, etc., they've got good marks in mains because of their rote learning and that thing. I'm not encouraging that, because those people can be cut down from the list through their interview performance. There your personality will come out. There they will catch you if you have done rote learning and gone. So recalling should be good with analysis. So that's all. Multiple revisions will help you recall, and reading good intellectuals, articles, listening to podcasts, that will help. That's all. Did we answer all your questions? Did you have any other question?
For my is the last question, ma'am. As a UPSC aspirant, ma'am, as we are a Gen Z generation, we face many challenges in the while preparation, especially the distractions, those things. Any simple solution for that, ma'am? How was it in your preparation days?
Okay, I'll answer this. And after my answer, I'll also again request Kedar sir, because he's a very senior person. He understands all of our mentality much better than we think we understand. So I will request him also to add to this. I deleted WhatsApp from my phone during that preparation. What I used to do was I used to open WhatsApp only once in a week and see if somebody has given any important message. I knew that if they have something urgent, they'll call anyway. There's no need to think that hello Akasha bidogbidate, I should look at WhatsApp every minute, every hour. Keep it away. Unless you're working. First of all, you cannot do this with work. You leave your job and do it, please. Unless you have that monetary limitation. So I thought if somebody has some urgent thing from me, they'll call anyway. And I was living with my parents only, so there was no question of emergency at home. Other than chinte irlilla. The phone, I used to put it in silent and keep it in my cupboard somewhere where I have to climb and take the phone. So in a height. So your phone should not be reachable to your hands. Then delete WhatsApp, deactivated my Instagram, then stop talking to all and everybody. Initially you'll have this tendency to discuss everything, whatever you read in the newspaper. You'll suddenly think I've become an intellectual, let me talk about my knowledge. Try to avoid that. Even if you discuss, keep only one friend with whom you brainstorm and you can add more value. But avoid talking too much, talking to too many people, and going out should be only once a week. Even I didn't even step out of the compound of my house for 5 days. Only on weekends, because you need to refresh in weekends. Small outing, walking, etc. Physical activity can also help that concentration, Do some walking early morning when you don't meet many people. Basically, I try to be as alone as possible, avoid social contact. Some physical activity also to flush out the cortisols and all that and keep my, brain focused and all that. But less of going out for entertainment and leisure, only once a week. Physical activity, try to do twice or thrice a week at least. Now you can do every day, but towards mains and prelims, you can't do even for months. That's okay, that's understandable. So, no WhatsApp, no Instagram, avoid talking to friends. In fact, some will try to deliberately pull you down, try to say, in the 2 ಸಲ ಆಯಿತು 3 ಸಲ ಆಯಿತು ಇನ್ನೂ ಆಗಿಲ್ವೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. So, try to avoid such friends and try to be with good people, have a support, talk to parents. Sir, if you want to add, please.
I don't want to add much, but distractions are always there. For every generation, there's a type of you are Gen Z, we are Gen X. So, nammallu irodu, we used to have cinemas, friends, and then bada big event, dodda loudspeakers hakoru. So, you had to ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೋರು, ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋರು, ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅನ್ನೋ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಟು ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಫ್, irrespective whether it is your present day distraction or our day distraction, in fact my mother used to sit in front of the house so that my friends will not walk in front of my house, so they'll go from behind, so that she had very specifically told, and she sometimes used to go and quarrel with organizers who had put the big loudspeakers. One more thing, I had also developed this walk ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ used to be my next nearest place. I used to go and walk ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. I always love to think more. Even today I articulate, think more. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸತಿ ನಾನು ಕಾರ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಗುದ್ದುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೀ. ಸೊ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಸೇ ದಟ್ ಐ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಯಾರಿಗಾರು ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನಾರು ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕವರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಯು ಮಂಥನ ಮಾಡೋದು. Even one of the great things about Manthana is you are taking a bath, you are traveling in a bus, you are eating food. Every time you can still engage. But distraction is always there. It's your determination to detach. Otherwise, ಮೇಡಮ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ನಾನಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಏನೋ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ, ಏನೋ ಆಗಿರೋ. You be sure world doesn't want you now. Okay? Don't be worried of your world, your friends. ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ ನೀವಿಲ್ಲದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡೋಣ, ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆಗೆ ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಹೌ ಟು ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎನ್ಶ್ಯೂರ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ ಸಚ್ ಎ ವೇ ದಟ್ ಗುಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ಯು, ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ಯು. Distraction is not a good thing. Idea of flowing inside, like 1,000 fresh winds come, 1,000 ideas come. Ideas should come. Okay, thank you.
Next question, please. You can stand up. You can sit down. I can see you. Sorry.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ UPSC ಜರ್ನಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟು ನನ್ನ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂದು ಮೇಡಮ್, ಈಗ ಮೇನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ 20 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು GS ಪೇಪರ್, ಎಲ್ಲ GS ಪೇಪರ್ಲೂ. ಆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸಲ್ಲೂ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ 3 ಟೈಪು ನಾನು ಗಮನಿಸಿದೆ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಫುಲ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಫುಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಟೈಪ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸು 4ರಿಂದ 5 ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸು ಹಾಫ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಫುಲ್ಲು ನಾವು ಆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗೆ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋವಷ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಥರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸು ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಓದಿದ್ರು, ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲೇ ನಾವು ಹುಡ್ಕಿದ್ರು ಆ ಥರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಥರ ಒಂದು 2-3 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಹಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು,
ಓಕೆ,
ಪ್ರತಿ 3 ಟೈಪ್ಗೂ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತು ಆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಫೆಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ನಾವು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇವಾಗಿನಿಂದನೇ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲೇನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಇವಾಗಿಂದನೇ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ, ಇದನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಓಕೆ, ಗುಡ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ರೀಚ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಹೀಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಗುಡ್ ದಟ್ ಹಿ ಹಸ್ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಮಚ್. That you will usually realize after clearing prelims, but good that he has already reached that stage. What is told is right. Nimge 20 question alli, in fact, more than 60% you will not know anything. Only 40% to 30% you will know for sure. Idiki answer ನಾನು ಓದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಬರೀತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. This is if you are rank 100 level prepared. Otherwise you will not know that also. So the point is to not worry about those questions which you don't know, and try to use all your peripheral knowledge, cumulative knowledge, everything, and attempt the paper and try to understand the context in which it is asked. Context ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ. ಆವಾಗ ನೀವು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ದಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ದೆನ್ ಫಿನಿಶಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪೇಪರ್. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ 3-4 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಫ್ ಯು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಪಾಸ್ಡ್ ವೇ ಓವರ್ ದಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೋದರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಲೂಸ್ ಔಟ್. ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಿಮಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋರು ಇನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ 4 questions, somebody who has written all the questions, he will clear but not you, if you focus too much on those 2-3 questions. Because I already told you, difference between a best answer and average answer will only be 0.25 or 0.5. But if you leave those 4-5 questions thinking ಇದನ್ನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರೆಯೋಣಪ್ಪ ಮೊದಲು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರೀರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಮತ್ಲಬ್ ಮೊದಲೇ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ನೀವು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರಿಬೋದು. ದೆನ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಯು ನೋ ಲೆಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲರೋ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್. ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್ ಯು ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೂ ಡೌಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಸೈನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ವೆರಿ ಪಿನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ನೀವು ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಲೀವ್ ದೆಮ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬ್ಲಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, there was something called there's no name, but this RFID technology is going to be replaced by GPS technology in tolls. So that question had come. unmanned toll booths are going to come. So that question had come. Adರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇನು bluff ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ if you don't know. They had asked, what is the technology which is going to replace this? So you cannot imagine something and write there. Somebody may forgive you, but somebody may cut or give less marks in the next question because they'll understand, acha, this person is bluffing. So ಅದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಶನು ನೀವು ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಬಿಡಬೇಡಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬಟ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಅಸಿಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲಾಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ತುಂಬ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ, ತುಂಬ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಮೇ ಬಿ ಸಮ್ 30 seconds more to such questions or 40 seconds more in which you know very well. And others, if questions which you don't know anything, maybe 2-3 minutes can be lesser for those questions. But elladu baribek ನೀವು. And one thing I wanted to tell, I forgot. The questions which you can you repeat your question? How to practice this? You'll know by mock tests. That is why you have to write mock tests, because mock papers are designed in such a way only 5 or 6 you'll know, others you'll not know. Only ನೀವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇವಾಗಲೇ don't get demotivated. They have designed it so because actual paper ಆ ಥರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು you have to attempt it. That taking risk, because sir will tell you when you become an IAS officer, IPS officer, nobody will come with a procedure how to solve the problem and tell you this is how you have to solve the problem. You will be caught off guard every day, each day, with new challenges, new problems. So similar thing, how your personality can handle such a situation. So do you want to add something, sir? Right. Next question, please.
We have a question online. Before that, any questions here? Specifically, we don't have a question from girls yet. Any question? Okay, ma'am, we have a question online. Was the idea of civil services there while you were doing your graduation, post-graduation, or did it start after Air Force? And the additional question is, how are you able to retain the idea of civil services even after 10-13 years of service with the Air Force?
This age, etc. Okay. Okay, this is personalized to me, but you can apply that to you also. Basically, as we have different perceptions at different ages. So when I was 23-24, probably like what you are now, my parents wanted me to be an IAS officer or IPS officer, so they were forcing me to write UPSC exam. But I was this rebellious child. I didn't want to write UPSC exam just because they asked me to write UPSC exam, so I had fought with them. And good that you all have that maturity and that resolve at this age to study so much. When I was 23-24, I didn't have that much patience or so and so to sit for hours like what you're doing now. At that age, I was more outgoing, I would say. I was more an extroverted person. I loved talking to people, going out. So SSB clear ಆಯಿತು first attempt ಅಲ್ಲೇನೆ. When I was in my MTech, I told you that fast track selection had come on campus. So I had no plan of Air Force also. They came on campus for fast track selection. So by chance, I got into that. SSB first attempt alle clear ಆಯಿತು. And SSB is more like, your personality oriented test. So I suited that framework at that age. So clear ಆಯಿತು. So I went into that. But within the service, gradually I understood there is something missing. I was not feeling that satisfaction. Although I have all the regards to Air Force, whatever I am today, that personality is because of Air Force. But professionally, like engineers don't do exactly engineering job in Air Force. You're a leader, basically. You handle manpower. You're managing the manpower, human resources. Just like an admin officer, more or less like an admin officer. Although you're technically an aeronautical engineering branch officer. So you don't do research, you don't do much of technical stuff, even the repairs, etc. on the aircraft. The airmen are there to do. You're only, in charge about them to oversee the work. You don't do it with your hands. So I was not getting that professional satisfaction, to be honest. Apart from a good standard of life, good social status. So I always felt there was something amiss. Plus, I was short service officer. Facilities for permanent officers were different. So I started looking at UPSC from 2017 onwards. By 2019, I started serious preparation, I would say. Serious as in I joined the coaching. 2020, say I got serious about it. Now, how I sustained the preparation at this age, As I told you should have a reason. One was, yes, it was my parents' dream, and I understood that I'll not be happy with other job. When I understood that the other job is not giving me happiness, and my life's purpose, I felt, is somewhere in this, duty or profession, because I'm not married. I didn't choose to marry by my own choice. Till now, I'm not saying I'm not married. It's like some people have their priorities at different stages of life. Some people get married, family becomes a priority. For me, I found that satisfaction in learning and duty and all that. So I felt I can give and I should give more time into this. So that's why I hope I answered your question to the candidate online. Sir, is there any question? You can ask, no issue. Please.
We'd still request any girls to come up with the question. We have a woman who is... Any questions here? Okay.
Any one question from girls, because no girl has asked a question so far. At least for the representation sake. Yes, please. How was my reaction in the successful attempt or the not successful attempt?
That's very important.
ಯಾವ attempt ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
ಏನು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್
ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಐಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು
ನನಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಕೊಡಿ. Actually, my reaction when she got selected and I got the news, I was not happy.
I know why sir said that, and I was about to say the same thing. I didn't expect 906 was my rank, so I expected a much better rank. Honestly speaking, I was not happy. I was very sure I'll be in the list. You'll know that when you write the mains and when you perform the interview. It's not a blind belief. I'm saying you'll actually know because you've done well, you've given so much, and marks alli nimdondu marks level gottaagbiಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. So I was very sure I'll be in the list, but what I didn't know was ಯಾವ rank ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. But when I saw 906, I was definitely not happy. My parents were sitting next to me. When I saw my roll number in the list, I was not surprised. I was like almost I knew that I'll be in the list, but when I saw I am at the level of 906, I was disheartened, and I could not tell my parents for 1 minute. They still thought in result bandilveno ankondo. Then ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ I told them, ಮಮ್ಮಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬಂತು, ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ರ್ಯಾಂಕು ಬಟ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ they got even more critical. I have very critical parents. They were talking to someone on phone. They had to tell my result. So my dad told, don't tell her rank, just tell that clear agide anbitu. So seeing that reaction, that felt more disheartening. So I continued, however, I wrote the prelims and wrote the mains. Let's see. Modulu, when I didn't clear, usually after the prelims itself, I used to come to know ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್. After 2023 prelims, I came back and cried because CSAT was so terrible. That was after so much of maths preparation. Full year I had taken coaching, time coaching, then Vajiram or something like that. So many CSAT coachings I had taken, but I screwed up my CSAT. Sorry for the word, but I didn't do well in CSAT. So I came back and cried. And it was very depressing. That day was, I think, my birthday or something. And there was a family party, but I could not feel happy. But after 2-3 days, slowly you will recover. Because that depends on your determination. You will naturally feel like going back and doing it. Illa, I can do it. I did some mistake, that's why I didn't do it. So you'll naturally go back to the process after a few days. And yeah, the happy reaction, probably I'm still waiting. 2025, maybe a happy reaction. Then I can come back and tell you how I feel. Thank you.
Any questions?
How did you maintain your
Consistency. Yeah. Okay. Consistency nalli madhya, yes, you will, some days are very productive. Some days ನೀವು 1 hour ಓದಕ್ಕೆ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. What I understood was that's the pattern. It's a sine wave. Once you understand it, you will not feel that guilt. Onondina you'll read 10 hours. ಒಂದೊಂದು ದಿನ you'll read 1 or 2 hours, but you should understand that you should go back to the 10 hours next day. Sometimes your brain only tells you, Sakappa, I'm saturated today, give me a break. So take breaks weekly so that you can do well the next week. So if you continuously burn yourself out, then your productivity will rather decrease rather than increase. So it's like a marathon, like what sir said. So if you treat it as a sprint, ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ನಾನು ದಿನ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ 8 ಗಂಟೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ರೀಡ್ 16 hours. You will read, but you will stop after 1 week. It will be like enough. Your brain will refuse that input only. So read consistently, normal, aram se. You're not running to perform on stage. Aram se keep assimilating things, keep preparing notes and all that. Then by exam time, the hours will automatically increase. ಅದು ನಾನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಕವರಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಟ್ 3 sets of revision before prelims, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ hours will increase. Till then you keep doing normal 6-7 hours, whatever. Take a break weekly and take one long break after 2-3 months, go somewhere, travel and come back, so that your consistency maintains. And for motivation, that should be internal. You should have some inner reason. That cannot be external. That reason will keep you going. And talk to your parents, some good friends who will keep instilling confidence. And to measure, ನೀವೇನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, you will feel unproductive ಅಲ್ವಾ? You measure with a timer. I used to keep a timer. Whenever I used to get up from the table, I used to stop the timer. So you actually have a measure, physical measure of how many hours you studied each day. Because ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ರಿಸಲ್ಟೇ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, 1 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು 2 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ. ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಮ್ ಮೆಷರ್. ಹಾಂ, ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ವೆನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ನೋಬಡಿ ನೋಸ್, ಬಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತನಾದರೂ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಮೆಷರ್. ನೋಟ್ಸ್, ರೆಡಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್, number of hours studied, those things. Quality studies, not only quantity. Thank you. I'm done for this question. Sir will add something.
Slightly to disappoint both of you and to her also. Of course, she knows already, unlike freshers like me and yourself. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟಪಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ UPSC ಅಂದರೆ, ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಬಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಸಿನಿಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಲೈಫು. ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಹೆಂಡ್ತಿನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, 4 ಬಡ್ದು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯಜಮಾನ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಈಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದಿರೋ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡ್ತಿ ಯಾರಿಗಾರು ಹೇಳಿ ಬೈತಾರೆ. ಹೆಂಡ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಗಂಡನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಬೈತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಯು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲರ್ನ್ಡ್ ಹೌ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್, ಸೊ ದಟ್ Saturday, Sunday, holiday, movie, no chance. You have to keep going. So, please be sure that ನೀವು ವರ್ಕ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟಾಗಿ ದುಡಿಯೋದು ಯಾಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಅಂದರೆ, ನಾಳೆ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ 50 ವರ್ಷ ಸರ್ವಿಸಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಬಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿ ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಒನ್ ಡೇ. ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಅಬ್ಬಾ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಥ್ರಿಲ್ಡ್, ಆಯಿತು ರೈಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಸೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಶುರು, 5 ಬೆಳಗಾಗಿದ್ದು 5BX ಹಾರ್ಸ್ ರೇಸು, ಹಾರ್ಸ್ ರೈಡಿಂಗು, ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಕರಾಟೆ, ಅದು ಈಗ ಸ್ವಿಮ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಿಮ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೆಸ್, ಓಡು, ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್. ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ತಿನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಓಡೋಗಿ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ. ಅದು ಯಾರೋ ಒಂದು ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋದನಂತೆ ಒಬ್ಬ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಜಾತಕ ನೋಡಿದ್ದು, ಈಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿನಗೆ ಶನಿಕಾಟ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 3-4 ವರ್ಷ ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀಯ, ಭಾಳ ತೊಂದರೆಲಿರ್ತೀಯ. ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೂಢಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ರೂಢಿ ಆಗೋದು, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ. ರೈಟ್, ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್.
Very nicely.
I wish her that any more things come her way.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
Grateful to Vinutha. She impressed me so much. In fact, ನಮಗೆ ಒಂಥರ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವರು. Somebody walks into, you can feel that. See, that's why I'm saying if you are consistently work, the way with which you work. So I'm grateful to her, and I look forward that I can congratulate her this year. So I wish you all the very best, Vinutha. I'm so grateful that you guided our students, because I only start where you stop. Once you can meet me only when you clear your mains. Till that time you don't meet me. So mains ಆದಮೇಲೆ then I start meeting you. So ಅದರ ತನಕ ನೀವು ಕಾಯ್ಬೇಕು ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Thank you so much for your kind words, sir. As sir said, yes, you all have to work hard to reach there, to get that wonderful experience.
Potential. That's why I was disappointed, whatever was her. Because you know the potential of the person. 50% down the service anything about candidate schooling, the moment I look at him, I can find out. ನಾಳೆ ಬಂದು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಡಿ ಜಾತ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ.
Thank you so much, sir. That is the biggest motivation I can get. And thank you all for a patient hearing. Thanks to India for IAS and the faculty for this time. Thank you.
So that sums it all. After 10 years, 12 years of service, and then getting into service again, the idea of being not happy with what it is, that's what keeps somebody alive, right? ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಹಸಿವು ಹಂಬಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಜೀವಂತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, for the entire session, for the detailing, for the attention, for everything that Vinutha ma'am has delivered to us today, a big round of applause. And the entire family of India for IAS, that's what we call, we are all a family at India for IAS. From the entire family at India for IAS, we find that opportunity once again that we can felicitate you as Vinutha G R IAS very soon. All the very best to all of you. So I would now request our guests, our chairman and our CEO, to do a small token of appreciation from our side. This is Dasara, and you have been a family here, ma'am. So thank you so much. Let the applause continue as we felicitate. So rolled out. Big round of applause. Inspiration from the word go. So Nadahabba Dasara, Naleddu Eradu. So wishing you all a very happy Dasara and a big round of applause as we thank Vinutha ma'am as she marching on to the service of the nation, marching on with her dreams carrying ahead. We wish every dream of us within service and serving the country comes true. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for everything that you have delivered to us.